Okay, so welcome to Torrance Adult Schools Career Week 2021. Thank you guys for joining us. This event, usually we have it in person at our Hamilton Adult Campus or Griffith Adult Campus. However, this year, due to COVID, we've had to bring everything online. You know, the purpose of this event is for you guys to have the opportunity to learn from professionals in the field and be able to get kind of an idea of what you can do to prepare for different jobs within the accounting and office field. Before we get started, we do have our Director of Adult Education, Dr. Wayne Dulio, who would like to say a few words. Dr. D, whenever you're ready, you can.
Well, good afternoon. I just wanted to welcome all of our students and our panelists for today. And what a great kickoff to our career week. But I just wanted to say real quick, I don't want to take much time because I know there's a lot of information out there, but thank you to Liliana and our team for setting this up and our participants and for all of our students. If you have any questions, just let us know and we're all here to help. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. D. All right, so today we're going to be talking about the South Bay Workforce Investment Board and their services. So for those who do not know, the South Bay Workforce Investment Board has a variety of one-stops across the South Bay in Torrance, Inglewood, Gardena, and Carson. And the services that they provide are great services for all our students. And we do have Bridget Cruz who will be speaking about those services in just a minute. After we talk about the one-stop services, we will be having a panel discussion. And discussion, we have Stephen Wyson and we have Anarisa Kachila who will be talking about the accounting and office fields. Throughout the panel, I'll be asking a few questions about the field and their experience. And then at the end, you'll be able to ask questions. After that, I'll be talking a little bit about the Torrance Adult School programs, so the accounting and office programs that we do have available here at Torrance and how you can enroll. And then we'll be talking about, and then at the end, I'll be giving you guys the opportunity to ask any questions. So throughout the whole presentation, if you do have questions, just write them down or you can type them in the chat box. We'll be able to answer those questions at the end. So to get started, I have Bridget Cruz from the South Bay Workforce Investment Board, and she's our Career Services Coordinator at the Torrance One Stop. Bridget, are you good? Wait, I can't hear you, Bridget. Give me 1 second, and let me see if I can unmute you. Let's see. Hi, Bridget, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yay, all right. Thank you, Liliana. Hi, everybody. As she said, I work at the Torrance One Stop. So at the Torrance One Stop, we provide an array of different services. We work with the residents that live in Torrance, Lomita, Redondo Beach, Hermosa Beach, and Manhattan Beach. We provide job search assistance to those that are looking for work. We can help you with your resume, interviewing skills, job leads, anything that will get you back working. We do have some money for funding for training. So if you are taking any vocational classes or you have an interest in taking any vocational classes, we may be able to pay for that. We also have a program for our youth. And that's anywhere from the ages from 18 to 24 where we can provide work experience. So for those that have never worked and are interested in getting some work experience to build those skills, to have something to put on your resume, all you have to do is reach out to us and then we'll place you at a work site. Some of them will be in person and then we do have some virtual capability. It just depends on what you're interested in. But again, any way that we can help you, we're here. Our building is closed to the public right now because of COVID, but we are meeting with people on one-on-one, or if you wanted to do some services remotely, we can do that as well, whatever you're comfortable with. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and in the chat put my name and email and phone number. So if you have any questions, I can answer them for you. All you have to do is email me or call me. Just so you know, our programs are based on eligibility. So there will be some personal questions we'll have to ask from you, basically any income, family size, and we'll need to see any right to work documents. But again, I can go over all that with you. It's a pretty easy process. And then we can get you started with whatever you need help with. All right. Thank you for your time. Thanks, Liliana.
Thank you, Bridget. And, you know, the Torrance One Stop has always been a really great partner to us. We've referred many students who have been able to receive employment services, career training through the Torrance One Stop. So we definitely encourage you guys to reach out if you're interested. If you do want the information, just send me an email. I can give you Bridget's email or give you the email for the specific one stop that you should be going to. So next, we're going to actually start our panel, but we do, just to let you know, we do have some kind of tech issues. So we're going to be starting off first with the accounting side, and then hopefully our office guest will be able to join us soon. Just give me 1 second. So today I'll be moderating the panel. We will be having Annarisa Kachila join us in a bit. And she's the owner of Express Pros. And Express Pros is an employment agency that helps individuals like you find employment. We have Stephen Y. Sun, who is the president of Sun and Associates APC, who'll be able to talk a little bit more about the accounting field. And then we have Ken. We were supposed to have Ken Feldman, however, he couldn't attend our presentation last minute. But Ken, just wanted to let you know, if you guys are interested in learning a little bit more about like tax preparation and his types of services and his experience, you can reach out to him at any time, and I'll be able to give you guys this information at a later time. All right, so we're going to get started with the questions. Steve, and I'm going to start with you just because we're still kind of waiting for Annarisa to join us, and hopefully she'll be able to join us later in the presentation. But from an accounting kind of point of view, I guess, what kind of positions can we find within accounting, or what kind of positions have you seen within your specific firm?
Well, in accounting field, there are a lot of opportunities. I think that's why accounting major or accounting industry is so good, because I think the opportunity is unlimited. Okay, even though there are a lot of opportunities in the field, if I have to break that into three major different types of field, then I would have to say the one is the public accounting, and second is the private accounting, and then the last one will be a government accounting, right? So let me start off with public accounting. I currently practice public accounting. And generally, public accounting firms offer auditing, taxes, and accounting services to number of clients across range of the sectors. Okay, so that would be businesses, individuals, nonprofit, and also government entities. I think working in the public accounting field will give you different types of experience. That is from, compiling of financial statements, the analyzing financial statements, preparing a tax returns from individuals, businesses, nonprofit, and also government entities, and also talking to a lot of different types of clients on different range of financial issues. So that will be a short summary of a public accounting field. You could also working in private, the accounting field. Generally, when I say private, means you work for one company, right? I mean, that could be, if I give you examples, that would be a Microsoft, that could be a Tesla or SpaceX. Those are fairly large companies, right? Or you could work for small, mid-sized companies that could range from maybe 10 to maybe 1,000 or a few thousand employees in the corporate type of accountings. Then you would work in their accounting departments. Depends on how big the accounting department is. You could be doing accounts receivable or accounts payable, or you could be a main accountant that will compile a financial statement for that company, right? So that information will be available for stockholders, creditors, or even government entities, right? For various reasons. Okay, so that will be a second areas that you could go into. The last one is you could also work for government entities as well. So for government, you could work for IRS, you could work for Franchise Tax Board, you could work for EDD. So there are a lot of opportunities in the government sector as well, but depends on your interests, your passions, and where you want to work for is really, you could break that into about 3 different areas.
Yes, so there's a lot of opportunity within accounting, and I'm sure many of our students would be interested in exploring all those three. Thank you, Stephen, for answering that question. I do have Anarisa on the line. Anarisa, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay,
Can you
great.
hear me okay?
Yes, perfect. And again, sorry guys for all the tech issues. Hopefully, moving forward, we won't have these technology issues. But Anarisa, if you can talk a little bit about the office fields, what kind of positions can students find in office fields? And also something I kind of want to point out is the reason why we're doing accounting and office together is because sometimes there's going to be some office positions that require a little bit of accounting, whether it's being, updating QuickBooks, or maybe working with invoices or vendors or different things like that. So Anarisa, you can, if you can talk a little bit about the positions that are within the office fields, that would be great.
Okay, sure. So the most prevalent job openings that we have, that I'm seeing currently, would be customer service representatives, administrative assistants, data entry. And to add to that, because of just the nature of the businesses in our area, which is near LAX, we do have some logistics coordinators, transportation specialists, cargo agents that we're receiving every so often from customs brokers types of companies in the area. So those, a lot of them, they're looking for people with a diverse set of skills. Just as what Stephen was saying, some experience in a little bit of accounting as well, experience and knowledge of QuickBooks. It'll help if you have knowledge and experience in Microsoft Office, like Word, Excel, sometimes Access, but most often it's just Excel, Word, and Microsoft Outlook. So do you have any other details that you'd like me to go into?
I guess you can continue with our next question. What would be a typical work day like for someone in this particular field?
So in the office services field, starting your day with, I would say, planning your day with including some measurable goals. You would schedule you would plan out the emails, voicemails, follow-up calls, just to set your day. But on a typical task, you would just be answering phones, some daily tasks like computers, doing some data entry. In terms of the logistics, transportations and cargo, you would be contacting clients, just as Stephen had mentioned as well, tracking orders, documenting the orders, trying to find out what the problems may be with a particular request, um, doing an audit trail, and then finding solutions for them. Communicating with people and interacting by phone, email is really important. And then at the end of the day, wrapping up with your teammates and planning for the next day. So I'm not sure I'm really answering that, only because I mentioned a variety of positions like customer service and administrative, as well as data entry. But I think a majority of the day, it's really working on the computer and having some research skills and abilities really helps.
Yes, thank you, Annalisa. And that actually really does help to give us kind of at least a glimpse of some of the activities that a person who is in the office position may be able, may have to do. Stephen, how about in your position or in the accounting field overall?
Well, if you're asking my day to day, it is actually very hectic. Especially during tax season, right? We manage about 600 clients in our accounting firm. And my day start as soon as I get out of the bed, right? I get more than 100 emails a day. So as soon as I get up, I go through my phone and try to answer many emails that I can before I actually go to my office, right? And as soon as I come in, I still go through all my emails. I check my calendars. I have multiple meetings a day. So talking to new clients, talking to existing clients about their tax returns or any financial issues that they may have. But obviously, if you're starting out your profession in public accountings, it may be a lot different than my schedule, right? So if I think back, what my schedule was like when I was starting in my profession is it was very coming in, same thing, answering my email, very repetition type of work in the beginning, right? But, obviously repetition will build my experience and also the skills and efficiency on the type of work that I do, right? So once you get good at what you do every day, then obviously you have much more experience, and then your seniors or the partner of the firms will start assigning more complicated the assignment, right? So then you'll be working on different types of field and also the industries and the clients. So it really depends on the type of work that you do. But if you work in a public accounting fields, then you have to wear multiple hats. So therefore, every day is just constant battles, right? With the clients, answering emails, phone calls, and working on different types of projects.
Okay, great. Thank you for sharing that. So we're going to get into our next questions. So what led you to this industry or current position? Steve, then do you want to start with that?
Well, so it is very interesting. I majored in accounting and also I have master in taxation. And I started out my profession working in aerospace company, right? So it is a private company. I was working in accounting departments, and I started out with the accountant. I promoted to a senior and also accounting manager within that about 6 years, right? And then I got my CPA credentials, and I went to work for a public accounting firm after that, right? So I was working with Fortune 500 companies. My clientele was KB Homes, Donald Trump hotels. So I work on a lot of different type of industries. However, I feel that there are a lot more opportunities if I start my own practice and have my own niche, right? So I feel like I could serve our clients much better than working for large accounting firms that work with Fortune 500 companies. So I started my practice about 10 years ago, and my clientels are not super wealthy, but very wealthy in somewhat very comfortable, and I could serve clients much more efficient, and by managing my own practice.
Okay, great. And I guess while we're still on that question, Stephen, what do you like most about working in your field?
Well, it is different, and different challenges that I face every day, especially now that during pandemic, there are a lot of new laws that is coming out under CARES Act, right? And a lot of government assistance programs, and believe it or not, there are a lot of clients are doing much better than before pandemic, right? One of the example will be e-commerce type of clients, right? So the challenge is trying to understand the new laws, right, and translate into a plain English to our clients,
Mhm.
right? And every client situation is unique, right? Not every client's situations are the same. So applying that law to their specific situation is exciting, and also sometimes very challenging. And so, especially now that all these new laws are just passed, there is no real guidance on those new laws, right? Because in the past, right, especially under Trump tax cut that happened in 2017, for examples, right? And we have some guidance from the IRS. We have some court cases that we could rely on. But right now, under this new laws, then there's not much guidance, and sometimes it's not easy to read this new laws and try to help our clients when there's not much guidance out there.
Yeah, so definitely a challenging industry, and it's constantly evolving, changing. So for those
Correct.
students who do like a challenge,
Well, that's the fun part, right?
Yeah.
It's not same thing every day. You come in with different rules, different law, different type of clients. So that's where the fun is, and people who enjoy challenges, and this is definitely the right field, because there's every client is different and unique.
Great, thank you, Stephen. Annarisa, can you answer those questions? What led you to this industry or current position, and then what do you like most about working in your field?
Of course. So I'm a recruiter working at Express Employment Professionals, which is an employment agency. But what led me into office services was back in high school. I started working when I was 15 years old, and I wanted to take a typing course. So that I just knew that it's going to help me with any career going forward, even if it was, just administrative or in a computer field. I started the typing course in high school, and at my peak, I was typing about 102 words per minute. From high school, I started. I had one of those co-op programs where I was leaving the school and working the second half of the day. I started as a data entry clerk. Then after that, I got into college. I was also majoring in accounting, but at the time I also needed to support myself and as well as pay for college. So I continued to work through a staffing agency where they kept me busy, putting me in admin jobs that were either temporary or part-time as I went to college. I continued to hone in on my office skills, including learning a little bit more on my own on Microsoft Office and so forth. And I worked at a company, at a medical device company, where I started to learn some accounting skills as well, and stayed there for about 18 years. Fast forward, I was laid off at the company and had an opportunity to start a business, which is here at Express Employment Professionals, helping people find work and helping companies find great people. So in essence, for me, leading up to my current job as a recruiter, I just went through a DISC type of a self-assessment where I realized that what I really wanted to do was put all of those skill sets together, all my admin skills, my accounting skills, you know, typing, and the ability to research and find solutions for certain problems, and just having that self, you know, fulfillment of helping people. And I remember Stephen saying that just having that that passion to find out about new things, new laws, like the CARES Act, the minimum wage increases, COVID tracking. It really put me in a position where I can really just have a job that will help me find work for people. What do I like best about working in the industry? I just feel like, you know, life is a journey, you know. You're just continuously trying to find ways to, you know, for self-fulfillment and to support your family. I really love that I have the ability to become the how to a person's why every single day. And again, just helping every single day. I'm helping someone find a job, and it's not just for them. It's actually helping not one person find a job, but I'm possibly helping 4 people because that person has, you know, a wife and 2 kids. You know, helping them put food on the table and have, you know, a roof over their heads.
Yes, that's definitely great. You know, both of you work in very essential positions. Stephen is in accounting, which is very important right now, especially tax season, all those changes. And Annalise is helping people get back to work. So thank you guys for all the work that you guys do for us. Let's move forward to the next questions. You guys kind of already touched upon this a little bit, but what type of interest, abilities, and skills will help a person succeed in these occupations? And you can also answer the second one, which is what type of education, training, technical knowledge, and experience do you need for this field? So Stephen, do you want to start with that?
Well, if you think about accounting, right, I mean, we are working with numbers, right? We are working with numbers, and a lot of my friends, a lot of our clients, they ask me, you must be really good in math, right? But you know, the accounting is not about. I mean, obviously, you have to like working with numbers, right? But you know, you just need some basic math skills, but you don't have to be accounting whiz, right? Or math whiz, right? To good in the accounting field. A lot of complicated the calculations are now done by a software, right? And so you know, what I'm looking for when I hire people is this person has a common sense. Okay, and that's very, very important in working in any field. You know, you got to have some common sense, right? And also same time, because we're working with the clients, right? We're talking on the phones, relaying and providing the consulting services to our clients, whether it is email or phone calls or actual, you know, the office type of meetings. So you need to have a good written and communication skills. That is a very, very important. And also same times, you need to be responsible, right? You know, when I work for large accounting firms, you know, I when I was a tax manager, I hire people from, you know, USC, UCLA's, even from Big Fours. And sometimes, you know, even though they may be a smart kid, but they weren't ready and they weren't responsible. Right. So, you know, being there and meeting the deadlines and able to work on multiple projects and being responsible is actually much more important than having a bachelor degrees or even master sometimes, right? So having those skills will get you far. And then understanding what is around you by reading newspapers, the current update, that is also important as well.
Okay, great. How about Annarisa? What types of interests, abilities, skills, or education training would you need for
Okay.
office positions?
Okay, I would concur with Stephen's comments. To add to that, I think I would have a couple of soft skills, such as the sociability. With that comes, you grow your skill sets in terms of teamwork, of developing your self-integrity, and developing your customer service skills. Having that sociability allows you to be able to speak with different types of individuals in different levels, and hone in on the communication skills and the ability to take accountability for certain tasks and projects. The second soft skill that I think is really important is having that initiative, someone who strive to create their own plans for the day and measure their own accomplishments. Someone who has that eagerness to learn. So even if you're not the greatest on your basic math to do some accounting, have that initiative to find your own resources so that you can find answers to that problem. The initiative to speak to someone else, to your manager or a colleague, and not be afraid to ask for assistance, just so that you can find solutions to that issue. The initiative, and having that initiative also gives you that self-reliance and determination, so that you can accomplish the goals that you had set out for yourself. Also, the initiative to find time management, to plan your day such that you are reaching not just your own personal goals, but to go above and beyond what's being expected of you from the employer.
Yes,
I
thank
hope those were a little bit of help.
Yes, and it's great. I'm happy that you did emphasize these soft skills that we often forget. That's not only the technical, but the soft skills that our students must build in order to be successful. Sometimes what happens is, there are situations that come up, like COVID, right? Where we suddenly have to work from home. We suddenly have to figure out solutions to everyday tasks that we never thought we would. And just having that initiative and ability to solve these issues will take you a long way. So thank you guys both for answering this question. So we are going to move on to the next one, which is relating to COVID. And again, you can answer both of the questions at the same time. So how has the pandemic affected your specific occupation? What do you expect in the future? And then during these times, how can students find jobs, prepare and find a job? Stephen?
Yeah, so like I say before, because of the pandemic, our clients needs more help than ever, right? Whether you are doing good or bad, there are a lot of new rules, a lot of regulations. So the first thing that the clients will do is they will reach out to their CPAs or accountant, right? The CPA generally have much more close relationship than their attorneys a lot of times. So and also it's kind of weird that a lot of people thinks that CPA knows everything, right? So they will ask you for legal questions, they ask you for tax questions, they ask for accounting questions. They're the one that the clients will reach out the first, which it makes very, very interesting. That's how you build a relationship, build a trust and the reputations. So it's been pretty interesting since the pandemic started, because I feel like I never really took a break after tax season. I mean, last year, if you look at it, our deadline was changed from April 15 to July 15. That was the big, that actually never happened, at least the last 20 years of my practice, right? So that was interesting. So tax season kind of went all the way to July 15. And also, we also have to deal with the extensions, right? A lot of business clients, they file in extensions. That means they have time until September 15th to file the returns. And then individual, they have October 15th. So it depends on the type of clients. Especially wealthy clients, they like to extend their return for many, many different reasons. But I feel like I never really took a break because of the pandemic, right? So it's been pretty busy. Even during or after tax season, because there are a lot of new rules out there, right? And I need to understand and also relay that information to our clients in a plain English, right? And if you look at this rules, it's about 5,000 to about 6,000 pages long. Right. So it's sometimes it's very overwhelming, and especially when there is no guidance. Right. But accounting, I talked to many of my colleagues who are in Big Four or national accounting firms. Their office is than busy than ever for these reasons, and our accounting industry has been more important than ever because of this pandemic. I think your second question was how can students can prepare for their jobs. I mean, obviously you need to cover basic accounting skills, right? So taking accounting classes, it depends on the type of industries that you want to be in, but the understanding of taxations, knowing how to do QuickBooks, right? That's also very, very important. And also reach out to a potential employer. Don't just sit in home and send out the resume, right? I get a lot of resume throughout the day, throughout the years, but the people that I hire, sometimes they just come into my office, right? and they ask us whether we're hiring, right? Even if we're not, if that person shows that kind of passion, right, that come in and really willing to work and willing to learn, I put much more weight than someone who just sent out the resume.
Yes.
Right. That's very, very important. And then just building the relationship. That employer may not be hiring you now, but just talking to them and tell them that I am looking and I'm ready to work, and having resume in our file when that opportunity open, I could reach out to them. Right. And I will remember, especially when they come in and ask for a job.
Just a quick question, because we are in a pandemic. I'm assuming your office is closed right now. Are you allowing people to come to your office?
We are closed for office meeting, right? We're closed for office meeting, but we have clients coming in, dropping off their documents. And what I have been doing is doing a lot of Zoom meeting. Okay, doing a lot of Zoom meeting, and that helps a lot, right? Because clients are handling their personal, confidential financial information, right? And that's why they like to sit down with their advisor, sit down with their CPA, because they're handing over their financial information, and they want to make sure that they can trust them, right? So an office meeting that's why it's very, very important, but obviously we cannot do that right now. So before I was doing on a telephone calls, but that wasn't enough, right? But doing a Zoom meetings, seeing them, eye to eye, face to face, that'll also very, very help. Okay. And also able to go over their tax returns, their financial information right on the screen and share that information on screen. That helped a lot. That helped a lot. But in office meeting, I got to do that on the wall, right? On the TV. Sometimes that wasn't that wasn't easy, right? But, doing right off from the computer and sharing their tax return, going over by line, that helped a lot.
Yes. That's great because, our students right now are using Zoom for this presentation, but I know they use Zoom for their classes. So if you guys aren't super good at Zoom, I encourage you guys to keep learning about Zoom and how you can use that at work. Annalisa, if you can answer that question, how has the pandemic affected the office occupations? What do you expect in the future? And then how can students prepare and find a job during these times?
Of course. So as you know, a lot of companies are, really suffered because of COVID. A lot of my clients are cutting costs and modifying their business processes, but still they're expecting accuracy in the work, efficiency and productivity. With that said, they've become even more digitalized with virtual meetings and remote work. There's a lot less live customer service that's becoming available, and they're turning more into AI or artificial intelligence, where you're on the computer, you're on the phones dialing one and going through, the voicemail prompts and so forth. A lot of them are turning the remote work into AI, like I'd mentioned, but also they're continuing to hire for office services, like customer service, administrative, data entry, and so forth. However, they do have to prove that they're able to work independently. What's to be expected in the future? If they're expecting that if you're working from home, you're still going to be as productive or even more so when you're at home, even if you don't have the advantages or the equipment at home like you would at the office. So for example, when I had to take my work home, I have a laptop. I don't feel that I was as productive at home because when I'm at the office, I have 3 monitors to look at, whereas at home I was on a small laptop. So I had to accommodate by making sure that I have the equipment available at home. So that's just one of those things. But in terms of, family, you might have, children at home who may not, who are not as independent as the older kids, where you'd still have to pay attention to them, not allowing you the privacy or the dedication of working from home as opposed to when you're at the office. So I guess just having that ability to prove yourself that you're able to work independently and with anonymity is really important. How to prepare for that? So Liliana had mentioned just make sure that your Zoom, that you're very familiar with Zoom. Try to log in 5-10 minutes before, and avoid those errors like I faced today. In terms of it being in general, how should you prepare and find a job during these times? Engage with other companies or agencies. I do actually like to see people eye to eye and face to face. But in these times, find other ways to, to connect with people. Do a self-evaluation where instead of saying I'm open to any type of job, actually do a self-assessment with what you like to do, what you're capable of doing, and what you want to do going forward. Work on your resume and submit an application, not just online, but yes, also drop it off. I do actually like to see people in person, even though I may just be cracking the door open a little bit just to pick up a resume. That's totally fine. We are closed as well, so I don't do that as often, but find a way so that it'll make the other party comfortable in receiving you and your resume.
Great, thank you, Annalisa. And I do have one more question. I know we're running out of time, but I do want to get to this question. What advice would you give a student interested in these occupations? Stephen?
Well, is I have many advice, right? But obviously, be curious, right? I mean, that's very, very important, and don't settle. Learn as much as you can every day, and whether you have a paid internship or non-paid internships, um, getting a first job is always difficult, right? But once, so having that first experience, having that first experience in the right industries and right position will get you far, right? So try to have a much experience as possible, but in the right field, right? So, I've been in private industries for many years with, 10,000 employees with a fairly large corporations. I've been with, large accounting firms. So, just kind of looking back last 20 years, if accounting is industries that you like, right, then I highly recommend start with the public accounting. You could always move from public accounting to private accounting, but you cannot really do and vice versa. It's really hard to move from private accounting to a public accounting, right? So working in the public accounting will get you a lot of different type of experience, and also able to learn and working with different types of a client as well, right? So whether it is small or large accounting firms, you'll be working in an accounting, audit, or even taxations, or even consulting, right? Once you happy, then you continue in that route, or you could say, I could always move to private accounting later if you wish to, right? So try to learn as much as you can, asking questions, and accounting field is a profession. It's not a job. And I always tell my employees, whether they are with me for 6-7 years, they're CPAs or someone who right after school, right? This is not 9-to-5 jobs, right? This is someone will do much better if they put in 12 hours than someone who put in 8 hours. It's just simple math. There's no shortcut. Right? So putting extra time, putting extra effort will get you much far than someone who's just working 9-to-5. And especially if this is the profession that you like, and this is especially if you want to move up, that's very, very important.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Annarisa, what advice would you give to students who are interested in these occupations? Hello, Annarisa. I think she might have been.
I'm sorry, I was on mute. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I completely agree with the previous comment. No matter what type of job you're in, whether it's in accounting or other office fields, just putting in the extra time and effort and being persistent to learn and grow and finding new ways to develop yourself. Sure, you have let's say you have an 8-to-5 job, but if you find you can do a SWOT analysis on yourself, like your strengths and weaknesses, and whatever weakness or areas for improvement that you might find in yourself, take some extra time to hone in on those and try to grow and learn. So for example, I'm in recruiting. I help people find jobs. Some people might not interview very well because English might be their second language. It's my job to help them present themselves under the best light so that they can have a shot at actually taking on the job, because it's not just the paper, it's not just the resume, it's not just the interview, but the actual work ethic that counts. So in my case, my weakness, my area for improvement is learning another language, and I did not know how to do that. And I researched and went to, researched the web to try to see what I can do to learn Spanish, for example. And I found a website where, it's taught me, it's teaching me the language. So I'm now becoming a Spanish speaker and able to interview people in Spanish and help them create their resumes. So I'm trying to turn for myself a weakness into something that's more of a strength. I don't know if you can apply that to what you're studying today, whether it be accounting. If you find an area of weakness within your accounting abilities, hone in on them. Google or contact or find a mentor who can assist you in turning that weakness into more of a strength. So be persistent, find new ways to continue to learn, grow, as well as make friends. Continuing on with the industry, be active and network, reach out to service organizations. Don't just send your resumes or applications into the email black hole, but contact service organizations like the Chambers of Commerce. There might be some assistance you can provide them, and they're always happy to introduce you to potential employers. Get on social media, go to friends. You'd be surprised. There's nothing embarrassing about trying to look for a job, or if you've lost your job or looking for opportunities. I think people are generally kind and would want to help you find your next opportunity. Go to agencies. Don't put all your eggs in one basket and just contacting friends and putting your resumes out there. Go to the agencies. If you apply to one agency, you are actually potentially applying to 20 different companies because they're putting your resume and your application under the best light. So be persistent, be active, and network.
Awesome. Thank you, Annarisa. And our school can definitely help you guys with this and reaching out to these agencies, reaching out to the chambers, or reaching out to the One Stop to help find a job. So those are the questions for our panel. And guys, thank you for providing your insights. I know that I see that there's been some questions from our students. Thank you guys for adding those questions. I see that our teacher, Maria Marasigan, who is our accounting teacher, has been able to respond to some of those questions. So I know we only have it's already 1 o'clock. I'm going to continue with the programs, but if our speakers need to leave, I understand, it's a very busy time. Please feel free to leave. If you can stay on for maybe 10 more minutes, that would be great. I'm just going to quickly give an overview of the TES program. So we do offer at Torrance Adult School for anyone who may be interested in our programs. So we have, for the office side, we have an office assistant TAS certificate. In order to get the certificate, you have to complete Microsoft Word 1 and 2, and Microsoft Word 1 and 2 is one class. And after taking the class, you have to pass the Microsoft Office Specialist exam, which is the MOS exam. You also have to take the Microsoft Excel 1 and 2, and then pass the MOS exam, Microsoft Access, and Microsoft PowerPoint. And this is again for the certificate. If you want to take each class individually, you can. You can take Microsoft Word only and Microsoft only if that's what you choose to do. For this term that is coming up, we're only going to be offering Microsoft Word 1 and 2 and Microsoft Excel 1 and 2. So if you're interested, I'll be giving you that information in a bit. We're also offering a new class, which some of you may be enrolled in or have seen, and that is the 5-week technology training for work and school years. And that course basically is, one second, sorry, I have to make sure. Okay, great. So that 5-week technology training for work and school course is basically just a quick introduction to Microsoft Office. You'll get a quick overview of some typing skills, how to use the internet, email, and then Microsoft Office, including Excel, Word, and I believe PowerPoint. So if you're interested in kind of getting a taste of what you can expect in in the Microsoft Word, Excel class, which are a little bit longer, then I encourage you to do the 5-week technology training for work and school. In addition to the Office Assistant program, we have the Business and Finance TS certificate. In order to get this certificate, you have to take Accounting 1, Accounting 2, QuickBooks Desktop or online, and then Microsoft Excel 1 and 2. Again, these classes, you can take them individually if you want to. Also for students who are in QuickBooks, often we get students who are interested in taking both the desktop and the online version. If you want to do that, that's great. It's always an added skill that you can have on your resume. For this, the enrollment is also open, and I'll give you some information in the next slide. Just kidding. I'll give you the information actually on the slide after this. But if you are a student of ours, or if you're not a student in your role, you will have support services available to you, which include resume preparation and review, and interview preparation and practice. We also have partners like Express Pro and then One Stop who can help you with that as well. We will help you with job search assistance. We often get job leads, or sometimes we have partners who have jobs, and they'll ask us if we have any students who are interested. We'll share that information with you if you are enrolled in one of our classes. You will also receive assistance and guidance with registering for the Microsoft Office Specialist and the Intuit QuickBooks exams. These exams are administered on our campus at the Levy Adult Center. Because it is COVID season right now, we do have limited seats, but we definitely will work to accommodate all our students. And then we have practice tests. So in our classes, if you want to practice to see if you're ready to take these exams, we do offer those practice tests for all our students. Now, in terms of enrollment, our spring term begins March 22nd and will end June 3rd. So for accounting, if you're interested in enrolling, our online registration is now open. It opened today. And in order to enroll, you can go to www.tastusd.org, which I'll show you the website on the next page. But once you get to our website, there will be a link that says Enroll Now up on the top. Just click on that link and you'll be able to enroll for the accounting classes. If you're interested in mailing in or faxing your enrollment form, you can start doing that March 2nd. And the same thing with the office enrollment. Enrollment is now open. You can register online or you can fax it. If you are a current ESL or AB-ASC student, or you're a new ESL and AB-ASC student, basically what ABE-ASC stands for is Adult Basic Education and Adult Secondary Education. So those who are in the high school diploma or equivalency program, these students, please call our office to enroll. You do have a separate process to enroll in these classes, so we ask that you call our office. Now, here's some information where you can get information about our classes. Our website is right on top, and then we have a student support services website where you can find information on different occupation resources and anything you might need. If you do have any questions, you can contact Veronica, Tiana, or myself. Tiana works mainly with our accounting office as well as our allied health students, so she would be your first person to go. If you are in the high school diploma program, please contact Veronica directly. If you are ESL, contact me directly. You can also follow us on social media. But before we actually end the presentation, I want to see if you guys have any questions. I know we kind of ran out of time, but if you have any questions, I can ask one or two to our speakers real quick before we end this presentation. Let's see. I don't see any questions on here. I just do have one question that I would like to ask you guys before we end our presentation. I know you guys were talking about preparing and how to prepare for a job, the skills and that may be needed for this job. And you guys kind of mentioned also that, there's a huge demand and a lot of work within these occupations, which is great. But I just have one question to kind of end the presentation, and it is basically, what kind of items or how can you tweak your resume to kind of stand out to employers a little bit better? Annalisa, is Annalisa still here?
I am still here. I would say often I see resumes that say, I type emails, I type, just basic daily tasks. My preference when I look at resumes is to see what accomplishments they have made. So if you're in accounts payables, for example, how much volume did you have? How many invoices were you processing? So I accomplished, a large volume, 200 invoices a day or what have you. It's really good to see those measures of success. If you were in customer service and you upsold products, just the saying something like I was able to increase revenue by 5% or 10%. Accomplishments that would catch the eye of the employer, as opposed to I answered phones, I sent out emails, I created PowerPoints. Does that help?
Yes, that does. Stephen, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, so like I said before, I used to hire a lot of people, whether it is from top college or even from state schools. But I still see a lot of spelling errors on the resume, not the right format. I think keeping the right format, make sure that everything is spelled out correctly. I think you're halfway there, right? You're especially if you're entry level job, right? I mean, we're not looking for seniors, we're not looking for managers or even principal, right? So paying attention to those small details, especially in an accounting field, right? I mean, we're working with a number. You have to be detail-oriented person, right? So not able to spell things correctly, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good, right? So at least make sure you double check on the format. Make sure that it kind of it reads properly, right? And also check your spelling, the format. That's half of it, right? So other half is depends on the industry, depends on the size of the accounting firms. You need to customize it. Right? QuickBooks skill may not be that relevant when you're working for mid-tier accounting firms because they don't use QuickBooks, right? And a lot of their clients, they have their own accounting departments, so their financial statements is already been prepared by a CPA or accountant, right? But if you're if you're applying for small CPA office, then QuickBooks could be very, very important, right? So customizing your resume and put some details of, okay, how many clients, how many returns that I did. I start out with, 50 clients. By third year of my profession, I was able to do this much, showing more advancement, and that will help a lot choosing over different type of applicant, right? So don't just send out 100 resume to different employee. You need to customize it. Depends on the type of industries, type of the size of the firms, is very, very important.
Yes, and thank you. And I just want to add something because we do have a lot of students who are entry level, maybe never worked in accounting. And Tiana answered this question on the chat, but it's good to remind everyone if you don't have any experience at what you do know about accounting, so your education, the skills that you do now possess, and then work your way up, try to find an internship, try to find an externship or something that can help you gain that experience so that you can slowly build up your resume to the position that you eventually want to do. Let me just get these final questions real quick. And Maria brought up a good point too. There are different types of resumes that when you submit them, they emphasize a little bit more the skills, your education rather than the experience. Obviously, the more experience you have, your experience is going to be a little bit more kind of vital in the long run. But when we first start, you definitely want to emphasize the skills that you have in your education. And we can definitely help you with that through student support services. Other than that, the other question I saw is if you're an ESL student, what English level can you do you need to have in order to enter the class? Now, if you're entering the office assistant program or any of the office classes, we recommend an ESL level 5 at least. And that's because, these classes are very fast paced. There's a lot of material you need to pick up, and we want to make sure that you're able to keep up. If you're lower than the 5, like you're level 4, we need your teacher recommendation. Same with the accounting. Accounting doesn't necessarily have a requirement for ESL, but for accounting, what happens is we still recommend a level 5 and higher because it is a lot of information. And one thing I did forget to mention earlier, or maybe I did mention it, but I just want to remind you guys is if you are taking the office class, Excel, Word, we do have ESL support available for you. So if you're in ESL right now, just let us know and we can enroll you in that ESL support. Other than that, I think those are all the questions. I definitely don't want to take you guys' time. But again, thank you to our speakers. Thank you to the Student Support Services, Tiani, Veronica, and thank you to Maria, our accounting teacher, for helping us out with this workshop. If you guys do have any questions, just send us an email and we'll be able to help you with that. Thank you guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Liliana. Bye.